to episode 4, oh my god, of the New Gen podcast. I'm your host, Joy Achungo, and as always, I'm having a very awesome co-host. Harry, how are you doing?
I'm good, Joy. How are you doing?
I'm also there. It's amazing to see you. And I also have 2 awesome people who are not guests anymore because they were in our last podcast. How are you guys?
You okay, Joy?
I'm doing great, Joy.
Manze.
I appreciate the sun.
It seems that the band has not gotten these two.
I think the band that you're seeing right now, I think is doing something great here. Doing something great. Am I wrong?
And we guys in Maseno are feeling the heat directly from the equator. Manze, ukiona mtu Maseno, just buy them ice
pop.
We did ice.
It's very hard.
Yeah. And imagine in this band, we have lost as well His Honorable Wafula Chebukati, and his death has come with a lot of emotion. So, guys,
both positive and negative.
Yeah. How do you feel about the loss of our awesome guy here?
Joy, Chebukati's loss is a great loss to the entire country. That guy was a nationalist. He's someone people loved, some didn't love him. But all in all, he dedicated a lot of his life, time, serving the nation. So it's a great loss.
I am sure if somebody in Kisumu hears you say this, or the people I saw on the streets, they will definitely not agree with you. But I still love to hear from Karen. How do you feel about his loss?
How I feel about Chebukati's loss, personally, it is a very great loss because he has done a lot of things in this country. Then another thing is I'm very shocked about the people's reaction, because in the customary laws, we are not supposed to wish any death to any person, or we are not supposed to be happy because somebody has died. Even the Luya people themselves, they even celebrate because they know life is sacred, but it is opposite. And now the question is, how far is the damage now that people are dying and even people are putting Chebukati in coffins? Like, they're just happy because he has died.
Guys, how bad is the damage? How bad is the damage?
The damage is too big. The reason I would say the same is, when you compare about the death of the former IEBC, that is Mr. Kivuti, who may his soul continue resting in peace. When you look at the moment that this person died, after announcing Kibaki, right, being the president of the Republic of Kenya, the period that this guy took before the next election is the same period that Chebukati has taken. That is 2 years, 8 months, and 22 weeks.
Damn.
Kivuti took 2 years, 8 months and 21 days. Only a difference of only one day of leaving after announcing the general election results. You see, so basically I'd say it may bring an arousing question, yes. But again, what shocks me the most is not only the Nyanza people today crying about his death, including the Central people, including the Western people crying, are celebrating. Instead of crying, they're celebrating his death. And basically, tutakuja kutaja hapo to see this comment. Are they really that hurtful? For me, it's really hurtful.
Yeah, so for those who don't know Wafula Chebukati, he was the chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. It is the commission that is in charge of elections here in the country. And I'll be so curious to understand how many Kenyans know the roles of IEBC. There are 13 in number. There are 13 in number. And in our country, we actually have the chairperson of the commission, who is Chebukati Wafula, who was Chebukati Wafula, and it is the one that led our country in the 2022 elections. So, guys, I'm hoping we are not on the streets yet. We do not understand the role of IEBC. Ask your neighbor. What is the role of IEBC? In fact, I want my panel to tell me one role each of the Independence Electoral and Boundaries Commission. I'll start with Casper.
How should you start with me? Come on, finish.
You know what? I want to start with Casper because perhaps he has crammed one role.
I only have one. This Casper, don't say mine.
Yes, Casper, one role.
Okay. Since I know Harry knows the obvious ones, I'll give those that are not obvious.
Please do.
I think demarcation of electoral boundaries, just from the name, it's the work of the IBC. As a commission, it's their work to like demarcate. They say, let's say, if it's a constituency, They say this constituency will begin from here to here.
Yes.
If it's a county, they say it's from here to here. For instance, I come from Suba South. Suba used to be one constituency. Now we have Suba South, Suba North. It was the work of the IEBC to demarcate and like separate the two constituencies. So we know, from South we know, you come from this place to this place, you are in Suba South. From this place to the next, you are in Suba North.
Clap for him. He's an amazing student. Karen.
One simple role of IEBC that I know is to register voters, and it is an obvious thing because right now there is a new team that is being selected. It has been selected maybe. It has been selected so that it can conduct the elections, and now they have planned to register 5,000 more voters. So it is obvious that that is one work of the IEBC, to register voters.
You can see I'm a good teacher. I'll go to my last student here. What are the roles of IEBC?
I wish I was wise enough the way people are, but basically, me only love the basic explanation. It is independent thing, so which means it conducts an independent, trustworthy, and straightforward election.
And the question has always been in this country, are our elections trustworthy? And I guess that is the exact reason why Wafula Chebukati is on the radar. And I would really love you guys to comment. Okay, do you feel that our elections are fair? Are they transparent? Are they elections that are legible?
I feel the elections are not transparent. They are not transparent because, first of all, it's because of the reaction after Chebukati's death. You can see that people are so happy. They are saying that Chebukati is the main cause why the economy of this country is the way it is. So they are blaming him for putting Honorable William Ruto on the seat. So I think they are trying to imply that if Raila Odinga was to be given the seat, then the country will be in a better place.
Then tell me, if you say they are the problem, because basically I didn't I didn't go for demonstration because of Chebukati, right? Which means that if you believe that what he did was wrong, do you trust Chebukati, you yourself? Did you trust him?
No, I cannot say I trust Chebukati. But there are a lot of issues that are coming with, and it is not even a Chebukati thing. It is Chebukati and the whole government. I think the system is just rigged.
Yeah.
The system is just rigged because earlier, before the elections, this man called Musando, he was in charge of ICT in the IEBC. He was killed.
Yeah, he was mad.
Yeah.
And Karen has mentioned a very sensitive thing. So if you're a politician, this is what your people are saying on the ground, that the elections are not fair and transparent. And Casper, how do you feel about what Karen has said?
Joy, personally, I believe the only transparent election we've had in our country was back in 2002. That's the only transparent, free and fair election we've had so far. Since IBC took over from it was IIC, I think, something of that sort. I've never seen any transparent election. That's why personally, I believe, that's why people took to the streets celebrating. And as much as personally I don't support that, you know, Chebukati as an individual had a family. There are people who loved him.
Yeah.
You know, when someone dies, when we lose as Africans, it's in our culture to like let them go in peace. It wasn't right to demonstrate, like to celebrate someone's death. But the reality is, he failed at his job as a chairperson. That's why IBC, no one trusts IBC. If you conduct any data collection, if you have to collect data on people's perception of IBC, people lost faith in IBC a very long time.
Then what needs to be done, guys? Because it is very dangerous of a nation to not trust its electoral body. Because in this country, people have feelings on their leaders. If you just go somewhere and try to ridicule a certain leader, you must be very careful with your words. So what needs to be done? What needs to be done? Harry, I think you should be first to comment on that, since Raila is his uncle, by the way.
Okay, speaking,
yes.
I'll use what Miguna said, that the current people that you have in the government are abductors, are not just straightforward, they are not people that can really save Kenyans. The reason being is, comparing the previous government from 2007 until date, when I think just history after history repeating itself.
Yeah.
So, honestly speaking, you would say every time we talk, we'd say that we need a change. The problem comes in, who is that to bring the change? The same people goes there with their belly. You go there with the heart, when you get there, the belly becomes what? Hungry. Yeah.
So I think, okay, one thing that you've highlighted is the fact that the people in government are abducted. So what can be done to ensure that the people in government are not abductors? I want to give you a very interesting statistic. I was reading an article by Nerima.
Who's
And
Nerima?
Nerima, wherever you are, she's the CEO of Siasa Place. I love you, should adopt me. So this is what she said, that in 2017 we had 3,428 young people who are on the ballot, and in 2022 we had 4,350 young people in the ballot, and this shows that young people are showing up more to be voted for. So my question is, are these young people also abductors, or who is the main person that you guys have an issue with?
I have an issue with the old government, because I cannot say that if this and this will be the president, then there will be change in the country. For me, I've really lost trust in the government, and you can even look at it in this way. Actually, we are Africans, yes, but the reaction after Chebukati's death brings a big question to our morals. Like, people are so frustrated, people are intimidated, people are angry, people want justice for what they call theirs. So I think I just have lost trust in the government. I think the only thing that can help this country is prayers for those who believe.
But Ruto conducted an interdenominational conference like last year.
And by the way, this country has the most prayers compared to other presidents. So definitely, I think prayer has failed.
There's difference between honest prayer and hypocrisy. Many people hide behind religion, like they take religion as a means to an end. They don't take it from the heart. Personally, I don't believe our current president is a religious person. Personally, I don't believe. Because, you know, religion and prayers should be based on your virtues, your actions, not your words. His words, he's one of the most dishonest people we have in the country. How can you say that he's a religious person? And honesty is a virtue in religion.
You know, there is something here that, let me tell you. The same people that organize religion are the same people that organize for sacred what? Societies.
Yes.
The same people at these sacred societies is how energetic are you, how wise are you to get there? You see, so religion is for many. That's the reality checks. And this sacred society that I'm talking about here is either you find yourself in. Basically, ukianza kuuliza mtu, like, let us pray. I watched a movie yesterday, and the movie was so interesting that
You watch movies?
Yeah, I do. This is what he said. This person went to ask for help. The niece was sick, had a hole in the heart, and the chief had a lot of money that he would have offered. This is his worker. So when this guy went to the chief, he was praying at the door. So when chief came out, so that he could drive him out to work, he said that, God, please touch the heart of what? Of my chief. Then the chief said, how much is the money? 20 million. Then the chief said, continue praying. There are those who are meant to remain down there, others remain up there. So prayer.
So for a full update of that story, kindly contact Harry.
No, I think what I'm trying to bring out, is
Yes.
prayer is not going to work for Kenya.
So so we have concluded that prayers will not work for this. So what will work?
No, Joy, we're not saying that prayers will not help. Prayers help. When you pray and you're really believing it. We're not praying ile yenye unataka watu waone that tunaombea the country. I want, like, people praying from the deep of their hearts. Like, we are praying because this nation, the state of this nation is really affecting our lives. It is really affecting our well-beings. So we need to pray because I'm suffering.
Do you remember that woman who said, apana? The one in the face, hapana jaribu.
Hapana jaribu. So this is what so here is my conclusion, guys. Karen says that let preachers do their work, but the president should know his role, and amongst them is not praying for the nation. So what needs to be done? Because in our last elections, you could actually access results from the server. Okay, something like that. You could just go and see how results are being in fact, our media team was allowed to tally the votes on their own. So what more needs to be done to ensure that we guys restore our trust to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission?
People have already lost trust.
So you guys are saying that the damage is too much.
The damage is so bad.
We'll need to have a complete overhaul of the entire commission. Complete overhaul.
Can it really happen?
Which is currently, you know, we are a few years to election. And as you know, IBC must be, they have a quorum to have. They need a quorum to operate as a commission. So having a complete overhaul will mean we'll have to get everyone new in that commission. 2 years to election, that's almost impossible, but it can be done if we really want to do it.
So, okay, even if we have new people in government, but the people are still being controlled by the government, it will end up as our dear Chebukati has ended. So here are my proposals. I think you guys can try and judge. I'm open to judgment. So number 1, introduction of digital tools. How can technology ensure that you have fairer elections? Or in case you guys have a sample of elections that you consider perfect, are there any lessons that our country can learn?
Joy, what are some of the examples of technology that you think are better for the well-being of this country?
Instead of using sheets of paper, you can be allowed to vote using your fingerprint, and then we can get real-time data of how people are voting. So instead of papers that people say they've been counted wrongly, they've been done, you can just go to a booth, press your finger, and then we see how results are being added. Instead of us using papers, as in a certain guy is there counting and
spoiled votes.
Both of them are there.
Yes,
they are there. So they're not there.
In Kenya right now.
They are there. Okay, basically speaking, RMS last time during the 2022 election, if you watch the news, they were operating from their media house. And everything, they were recording everything. In fact, if you went and saw the setup, they were having a digital setup, which means that, in fact, it was, like, you go there, you tick Ruto, you tick the deputy president.
So I'm saying, like,
at the end of the day, the counting of the vote were counting using their thumbnails.
Yeah, I'm saying
exactly.
I'm saying instead of us being forced to have some papers where you can go tick. So I want to give you a very funny example. So my shosh is an elderly person, and definitely she has issues with reading. Okay, so. Guys, don't kill me for this story.
I think it is fine.
I actually have an uncle who supported Raila. And so my grandma knows nothing about the elections and stuff. So he's my uncle and he's like, this is the person you should be voting for, and this is the person that you should, and this is what you should be doing. So my church has no idea of anything that should be going on, but he has someone who is directing her on how to vote. Of course, that is already insanity, and it shows that something needs to be done.
That is very wrong.
Okay, so somebody is coming to you and
What
telling
this
you,
person?
do this, tick here, or put an X here. So I think that.
Joy,
I think, Joy,
from your story,
yes,
it shows how rotten the electoral body is. Because there were IBC officials in that polling station, I'm sure. There were agents in that polling station. They see this happening and they said nothing about that. In as much as we are allowed to assist the elderly, actually it is provided for in the constitution. If you, let me not talk about the composition of the IBC. You are allowed to assist, but within certain boundaries. You don't tell someone, vote this guy, if they don't want to vote them. That's why we have agents. I think the best thing that should have been done there is your church availing herself at the polling station and saying, let's say, I'm going to vote for Raila. Who is Raila's agent? Then Raila's agent should be helping him or her vote.
And that is the exact reason why I'll always fight for digital tools to be used during our elections. Guys, something must be done for us to have trust in government, because we cannot allow our ship to sink further. So what do you propose as this powerful committee?
Another lot on
One role of IEBC, another role of IEBC to add on the one that I'd said is voter education. And voter education is one thing that has really been underrated. For example, I can say I was an eyewitness during the 2022 general elections, because my grandpa will come home and say, if you're not voting for Ruto, you don't come back to this house. So it means that people are actually voting according to what the father has said. I come from the village. Now, people are voting according to what the dad has said, because baba wa hii nyumba amesema sisi sasa baba wetu ni wa Ruto. Sasa kama ndo tukue kwa hii nyumba tuendelee kuishi vizuri, lazima tuvotie Ruto na si Raila. You get? So a lot of people are not educated, especially in IEBC matters. So I think illiteracy, let me just call it illiteracy, because the fact that your grandma anasaidiwa kuvote na at the end of the day atavotia mtu mwingine, it means that she doesn't know. And when we give voter education, it means that people will have the courage to fight for their democratic rights.
Yes, so our able committee member has made a recommendation that we need proper voter education. Yes, my dear.
Just to add on what she said, education, they say education is the key to everything, not just success. She has said that, an enlightened society, after enlightening everybody and telling them this is your constitutional right, this is your democratic right, you should vote, you should not vote, we must make sure that after we've been educated, we should now hold the commission accountable. I'm sorry for referring to the states a lot. I like referring to the states because I love how independent their institutions are. For people to regain trust in the electoral commission, people have to say that the commission is independent. Everyone who is all stakeholders in IBC should be people that people can look at their track records and say, this guy is not compromised. You realize that the current electoral body, even the current one, after Chebukati is gone, Chiloba and all the others who have gone, they are political appointees in disguise. Just look at the entire commission, you realize that everyone has some ties to the people either in government or opposition. So there's no new blood there. They're just the old regime, new regime, same people, different bodies. People can use others as pseudos. I can come here, I'm speaking, but I'm speaking on behalf of, let's say, John Mbadi.
Yes.
You think that it's Casper, kumbe ni John Mbadi. The same is happening with the commission. We have people who are there, and we all know. When you see Chebukati, he's representing Nani. When you see that guy, he's there because he's Nani's friend. So, people lose trust because they know, based on track records, we don't have commission as well. They are because of their track records.
I think there's a problem because honestly, rising star is very hard to get.
Yeah.
Because when you speak about what can we do best, even if, when you go back to last year, the young people wanted a new regime. Was it a new regime?
No.
Just a reshufflement that happened. That means that it is, if you want a new people, it's that people are given that power to do so. But that power can never be given to us. Yeah, it can never be given to us. The only thing that remains is we remain peasant, we remain fed as dogs. Whatever comes in, we take it, no matter how sour it is, no matter how sweet it is, we take it in. Because we know very well, anytime that you try to raise your voice on that, what did you do? You end up in the government. Take a look at Samuel. What did he do? Where is he now? So basically, we don't have any person that can say this person can stand out for Kenyan so that we make a change.
In short, the Independent and Electoral Boundaries Commission is not as independent as the name suggests.
What they do is let them put it dependent. Let it be a dependent electoral commission. Yeah, let it be dependent because basically it is not.
Harry.
Yeah.
I hate how you are reasoning right now.
No, really. Okay,
lost
let me
hope.
defend. No, I've lost
hope.
it.
Tet is a strong town.
Yeah. I love Kenya. What I hate is
Yes.
I hate seeing people fighting at the polling station for a leader. Look at what happened in Embakasi East when Babu almost lost,
Yes.
and people fought for him to get it back. People died for these leaders to be what they are today. So why say let us have an independent one? We want to have a trustworthy one. We can't have it, right?
We can't have it.
We can have it.
You've lost hope.
I have.
I think the youths outside there, you should not lose hope.
The
You
good
know
thing
what
with the
happened?
youth
Do you know
is
why the Gen Z protest didn't achieve why the reasons for its inception? People backed down. We
Was
were
there a reason?
intimidated. People were killed. Yes, as we all know, in every revolution, blood must flow. Once you begin a revolution, be ready to lose your life. Personally, I believe that once we had begun that process, we should have never backed down. Immediately, the cabinet was dismissed. They dismissed the entire cabinet. We should have said that after dismissing the cabinet, what we wanted was, I can recall the slogan was, Zakayo Shuka. What does Zakayo Shuka mean? It means we want you to leave governance to us. It's logical. We could not lead without leaders.
Yeah, you couldn't.
We could not lead without leaders. But we have constitutional provisions for such matters. When the president resigns, we can have by-elections. It could have been done. Because it was a revolution.
And who would you have chosen?
Personally, if I was asked right now, the person who should be the president of this nation, although it's subject to people's opinion, someone like Opiyo is someone who has fought for us.
Just let it be there.
Comrades, wisdom.
Just let it be there.
So my friends here in this panel and viewing us.
I don't know what they're going to say about you. I'm really waiting for the comment section so that they tell us Opiyo Mtata to be fit for in. Because no youth is talking about Opiyo Mtata anywhere.
I'm not forcing Opiyo Mtata on anyone. What I'm saying is we should vote people based on track records. Personally, I believe in Opiyo Mtata, if you ask me, based on his track record, the things he has done.
Okay, so just before you make our dear Casper as the running mate of Opiyo Mtata,
You have to be the chief advisor.
I think we all agree that our Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission needs to be, number one, very independent, and voter education has to be properly done for us to ensure we trust our government.
Okay.
And it's been amazing having you guys here. I think this discussion will go on behind camera, but right now I can see somebody signaling that we only have 2 minutes, so I think I'll allow everybody to say their final word. I start with Harry, then Karen, then Casper.
I won't be closing. Casper, I'll be closing. Casper, you need to tell us. As you end this thing, this thing, maybe you end with us, Casper. Talk later.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Now, I only have a minute. So,
Less than a minute.
personally, this is a discussion that we can't talk in a minute or seconds. I would like our viewers to continue this discussion in the comment section.
Yeah.
And they should know that for us to have good governance, for us to have an independent electoral body, we have to push them. And when you push someone, you should never get tired of pushing them.
Thank you so much, Casper. Karen, what do you have to say?
Let us educate the mass. Educate the mass. Information is power. Yeah, I'm very grateful to be in this podcast. My name is Karen Koech. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe.
Exactly, guys. So for those who have been following us from the beginning till the end, hope we see you on episode 5 of the New Gen podcast. My name has been Opiyo Handzon and
Comrades, wisdom!
I'm waiting for you to say.
It's been amazing having you in this podcast. I'm looking forward to another
Next.
episode,
Episode 5.
episode 5, and I'm hoping you will be my guest. Comrades, wisdom!